would your intro song be, Lee?
Welcome to the
It's raining, man. Hallelujah. Welcome to the jungle. You gotta. Can't say that word. You gotta. Hey, somebody's already in there. How you doing?
What's up, yo?
Chris and Lee here to answer all your home loan questions. So please fill up the chat box with all your questions about programs. Can you buy? What your scenario is? What's the interest rates? What credit score do you need? How many years of work history? Is there a down payments? Is there down payment programs? Is California giving free money? All these questions.
Free money?
Answered.
Oh, dude, you stopped everybody in their tracks with free money. What's going on with free money? You didn't put D&D.
Did I just bait them?
Maybe.
Is that what I did?
Maybe. You're about to disconnect me. Did you put out D&D in there?
Did
Okay.
Did
I left my charts, so you start talking here. I gotta go. Raj Vinder's on the line. I just saw.
Raj Vinder. This is for you, girl. It's for you. All right, guys. Is there free money? No, there's no free money. Don't even bring that up. There's no such thing as free lunch, guys. You always pay for it, whether it's in the interest rate. All right. Can you hear us now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Uh-oh. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Rush Vinder in the house. This was for you if you didn't hear me. Mammy, you always got our back. This is for you. We love you guys for supporting us and helping us out because we're just a couple of foolish loan officers trying to pretend like we know social media. We don't know anything about social media. We just have words to say, answers to give. Anyway, what I said was, you guys need to ask us the questions. Load up this chat box. You want to know about what interest rates are doing, what programs are available, first-time homebuyer programs, investor programs, what the interest rates are, what credit score do you need, how many years of work history do you need, what's the down payment, are there programs for down payment? So we're going to answer all of those. We just need you guys to let us know what the questions are, and we'll get you all the answers. We are your home loan, home purchase.
Can't hear you. Okay, you're.
It's already solved. It's already solved, man.
You got one job.
Me, Rush Vinder, Mammy, we solved it, man. Where were you?
One job.
Where were you? That was the question. Where were you? Anyway, so everyone, load up that chat box so we can get you all the answers. If you don't, you're going to hear a bunch of BS from Chris and Lee talking about whatever we want to talk about. And sometimes it's really interesting. Sometimes we fight. Sometimes it's really boring. You don't want none of that. You just want home loan questions. So load up the chat box and we'll go from there. I do want to touch on the Fed because Lee and I were talking about it this morning. I've been listening to a lot over the past couple days, and it's very interesting the way they put out the data, okay? The way they put out the data isn't necessarily their goal, but what they are doing is manipulating you just a little bit so you do or don't do certain things. What do you think about that, Lee?
I think the whole world's a scam. I think the Fed is manipulating us. I think the government's manipulating us. And I think they're diluting our money without anybody understanding how they're diluting our money.
Yeah, help us understand, man.
So let's say that we have, I don't know how to put this. Let's say you have, I don't know, $100,000.
Okay.
And you have $100,000 and you're like, hey, this $100,000 will buy 100,000 cartons of milk. Okay.
Yeah.
So how many cartons of milk can you buy?
100,000.
100,000. Cool. So the Fed goes, hey, yeah, you got $100,000. How many cartons of milk can you buy?
100,000.
100,000. No question about it. Okay, cool. But I'm going to do quantitative easing. I'm going to print more money.
Okay.
I'm going to dilute us. How do you dilute us? Well, I'm going to borrow more money from a whole bunch of people. And that $100,000 is now going to cause what's called inflation. So now milk costs $2. So you have $100,000 still.
Mm-hmm.
How many cartons of milk can you buy now?
50,000.
Correct. Now, if you're just looking at your bank account, I have $100,000.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at it in terms of the real world, you lost half of your value.
Yeah.
That's how they're doing it.
So you're saying that the dollar's losing its power.
Yes.
Doesn't buy you what you used to buy you.
Yes, correct.
We've all heard the stories from our grandparents about these nickel candy bars, guys. these things were this big, and you got it for a nickel at your local 5 and dime or whatever the corner shop was. That doesn't exist anymore. They're actually this big, and they cost $2. That's inflation.
Yeah,
Dude,
you know. Well, do you know what they did? Check this. You're gonna believe
You
me.
just educated me.
Oh yeah,
I'm
so like
edumacated.
potato chips. They used to say, "Hey,
Love
listen,
potato chips.
hey, we're gonna do this much potato chips into the bag," and they're like, "Shit, things are getting too expensive." Well, how can we cut costs? Well, we could cut labor. I'm not gonna like that. We could cut shipping. Oh, we can't do that because we get to everybody. We could cut growing costs. I can't do that. Well, you know what? These people that are buying, they have no idea how many chips are in there. We used to give 40 chips. Let's just give 33.
You don't pay attention to the ounces?
Boom, just like that.
I pay attention to the ounces.
Yeah.
Here's what I do when I go to the candy store, guys, is I say, this is the cost this much for this much, this costs this much for this much. What's the better bang for the buck? Read your ounces on your chip bags, guys.
Yeah,
Don't get scammed.
It counts a little bit. That counts a little bit, but they can do it without you even knowing. Did you hear about the Walmart lawsuit? $100 million lawsuit.
About what?
Walmart just caved on.
Okay, tell us.
Okay, so you went to Walmart. You're buying chicken, right? You're buying chicken, and the chicken says 1 pound.
Okay,
And on the thing it says 1 pound. It says $6.99 a pound.
okay.
When you're ringing it up, it says 1.9 pounds.
Ooh, they're rounding up, huh?
So it says 1.9 pounds, and you do you think twice about it?
No.
You just zip it right
Nobody's
through.
trying to scam you.
Walmart conceded and said, "Yeah, we're doing it. Yeah, we're doing it.
Dude,
We'll pay you $100 million.
Hammers.
We'll pay you $100 million."
Raj Vinder, the other thing is in other countries, you might not make as much, but cost of living is less.
Oh, I got this thing. Rajvinder, you're correct.
love
I have this
Mexico.
thing that's showing up right now. And yeah, you need the Walmart receipts, by the way. That's Rajvinder, that's the catch. You have to show the receipts, and if you don't, there's a way that you can do it. And everybody's eligible, I think, for like $1,000 or something like that. They can prove that they bought
Oh, it's
during
class
this time.
action.
It's class action. Yeah.
Okay.
So 100 million, I think that's what it was, maybe even more. But Rajvinder, on that, I keep getting these things on living in Thailand. And you can live in Thailand for like 600 US, having a very nice apartment, eating very well, all transportation, $600 a month. $600 a month. Very nice. And in Thailand, I'm like, well, never really thought about moving to Thailand. Never even been to Thailand. But these videos sure make it sound good.
I know what videos you're watching, Lee. I know what videos you're watching about Thailand.
Oh, yeah.
We
yeah.
know why that's in your feed. But
So-
yeah, so what you're saying, Rajvinder, is 100%. In India, all 3 meals. What does that mean, Rajvinder?
In India, with the $600 a month, I think we was talking about all 3 meals, like
$5.
$5.
Yeah.
$5. In America, it's gotten ridiculously expensive because we're controlled by the corporations. I think it's a scam. I think the whole thing's a scam. If you've ever been to Europe, oh my God. When you go to Europe, first off, the food is entirely different. It's illegal for most of the things that we have on the shelf to be in Europe. It's illegal. It's like against the law. The government says, no, this will poison our people. Can't do it. Second, when you go have actual food, it's real food, and everything tastes different. Everything tastes different. At first, it's a shock. You're like, this tastes a little bit too much like fish or too much like meat. It's a little bit more good. I don't know what the word is, but it's and if you're in Europe and doing this, you're like, hey, this is amazing. After about 2 weeks in Europe, you come back, you're like, what the hell have we been eating here? It takes a little while before you get acquiesced. Yeah, acquiesced. But that's what's going on.
That's it?
That's it.
That's all the news you got for
That's
today?
all the news I got for today. What do you got, man? What do you got for today?
Man, the stuff I got is way different, man.
Okay, good. Tell me.
It's way
Tell me. Let's talk about conspiracy
different.
theories. Bring it up.
All right, let's talk about P. Diddy.
All right, what do you got?
All right, so PBD, Patrick Bet David. Okay, if you guys don't know who he's now a media mogul.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he's been doing that for about 10 years, pretty solid. Before that, he owned businesses, sold an insurance company, sold some teams. So he's done a lot of things over the years, but he's a legit businessman.
Really
legit
rich.
businessman. Not just legit businessman. He's becoming Joe Rogan level of where people want to interview with him because he asks the right questions. He's not afraid of controversy. He's not afraid of debate. He states his position, answers questions. But what he recently did is he interviewed Suge Knight in prison.
Suge Knight in
Yeah.
prison?
And it's the longest
In prison?
in prison. Well, we're asking you to interview him.
He's like, Suge, hey,
You're not going to interview him at home.
you busy next week? That's hilarious, man.
They interviewed They interviewed him in prison, and in prison he said, "All right, here's what you guys got to understand about P. Diddy. P. Diddy was taught these things. The question you're not asking is, who taught him these things? Because he just didn't wake up one morning and become this
Clyde
person.
Davis.
Maybe. That's maybe. And he didn't wake up one morning and was just this way.
Yeah.
He was introduced to it and then built that kind of lifestyle. And he said even with Usher, he brought Usher in and tried to teach Usher these things. Usher just had a different way of, he wanted to take his life and he didn't necessarily partake in those things. But P. Diddy was taught this, and that's the person you need to be talking to.
Clyde Davis.
That's the person you need to be asking questions.
Oh, dude, am I going to get
That's the person you probably need to investigate.
skull and crossbones on me?
You know what? I'm okay with that. Well, I mean, not personally, but I'm okay with that.
You're okay with me getting skull and crossbones?
I'm fed up with this, to be honest with you. I'm really upset at these things that you guys are watching us on, whether it's the platform or the device. I'm really upset at it because it's really changed our lives. It's ruined a lot of people. It's messing with our youth. It's giving out the data that's not necessarily the best for them growing up. So I'm very upset at these things right now. Very upset. But guys, this is going to get really boring really fast because there's not a whole lot we need to talk about. You guys have any home loan questions?
Home loans. Let's talk about home loans. Anybody out there trying to get a home in 2024? Do you want to know what's going on with the interest rates? Do you want to know whether you qualify or not? Do you want to know whether your bad credit score, can we get around it? Do you want to know that? Do you want to know? Most people don't want to know. They think they want to know. But when I tell them, not a pretty conversation, because we're like, hey, I heard you can do a loan all the way down to a 580 FICO. I'm like, yes, I can. Cool. I pulled somebody's credit. They're like, hey, I got a 584. You're correct. You got a 584 and 11 derogatories. 11 derogatories. What do we do with 11 derogatories?
What do we do with 11 derogatories?
I don't know. What do we do with them?
Well, here's the truth of it. You have 11 derogatories. You made some bad mistakes. Or maybe you hit hard times. I'm not going to judge. Okay, so you probably made bad mistakes. But I'm not going to judge. So when you have that kind of derogatory, here's what it is, guys. Here's how credit works, okay? I have a credit card to Capital One, okay? I've been making on-time payments, and let's say I hit hard times, and I can no longer make that payment, so now I have one 30-day late, okay? Imagine that your credit like a pickup truck, okay? So one 30-day late, it just lowers it a little bit. Two 30-day lates, a 60-day late, a 90-day late.
That's it. You're out of the game.
Multiple.
You're out of the game.
This is your score, guys.
You're out of the
This
game.
is your score. Now, what you have to do, a lot of people think, well, I'm just going to move forward and
What's up, Sharice?
and
What's
do
up,
good from now
8219?
on.
Appreciate you.
You can't just do good from now on. You have to address this.
Yeah.
So what you have to do is little by little take one off, take another one off, take another one off, take another one off, and your credit will go back up. And that's credit repair, okay? You can establish new credit, which is definitely going to help you moving forward in the long run, but you got to address the bad stuff. The bad stuff just doesn't disappear. It stays on your credit, even when it's discharged. A discharge, what's a discharge, Lee?
Discharge is when you've gone through bankruptcy and the court said, you are done, discharged.
Yes.
You're discharged. So from that day, that's the date we start, 2 years minimum before you can get an FHA loan. 2 years minimum.
So discharge, from that point moving forward, you can move forward, no problems, but it's still there, guys. It's still there, which means that weight is holding it down.
What's up, Jones?
It's holding it down. Same thing with charge-offs. What's a charge-off, Lee?
Charge-off is when you said, hey, I know I owe you $1,000, but I'm not paying you.
Okay.
I'm not paying you. The company says, hey, you really got to pay us. You got to pay us. And he's not paying you. And then they say, all right, I'm just going to take it as a loss on my tax return because that's all I can do. I'm calling it a charge-off.
Okay.
And that's it.
And the court drops a gavel on that one, too.
Yep.
So the creditor, you don't owe him any money. You figure, I'm good. This thing is behind me. I'm good. I can move forward. I should have great credit now. It's still on your credit. It still shows. It's part of that weight. So you got to take that weight off in order for your scores to go up. Once again, that's credit repair. So establishing new credit. Even our strategy that we give you, if you get added to someone's credit card, it'll spike your score. Yeah, it will, but it won't go as high as it possibly could because you have all that weight bringing it down. That's credit repair. So all that to say, if you guys have crap credit, you guys know it. Go to the link in the bio. Get involved in credit repair. Establish your new lines. Pay your new stuff on time. Don't get late on anything, but fix the old stuff, okay? So go to the link in the bio. Click on Fix My Credit. Get that process
And here's the thing I tell everybody. Let's say, listen, My interest is to get you a house. I don't give a shit about the story how I got there. I don't care. I really don't care. That sounds harsh.
It wasn't me,
but
Lee.
All I
It
care,
wasn't me.
All I really care about is that we fix that credit so we can get you a house. That's all I look at. I don't care the story. You can save the story. I don't care about the story. All I care is this is what's showing. We need this, and we need to make it work. Everybody has this long story that they all think I want to hear. I don't want to hear it. I want to help you get a house. You need a house. We can give you the guide, the map, step by step. Here's how you get the house. 3.5% down, FHA can do it. 5% down, conventional can do it. You got good credit, 3% down, conventional can do it. First time home buyer program, home ready, home possible. Both of those are available to you, but it all starts with credit. So, what else you got?
Okay, here's another piece.
Okay,
so
good.
when it comes to interest rates, okay, interest rates are high. They're high right now. Everybody knows it. They fill it in their credit cards. They fill it when they're trying to buy a house because they qualify for less, or they don't qualify at all because the interest rates are high. Now, there's a camp of people. I don't think it's a big camp. I think it's a very small camp with loud voices that are saying that the market's going to crash. The values are going to come down. Number of reasons. Because it happens every 10 years. Because it's supposed to. Because I read it on a headline somewhere in the news. Stop reading headlines. And if you do, dig into the articles, guys, because the stories are always much different than what the headline said. Now, the experts know this, and us that are in the industry know this because it's already happened.
The Princess Sherry's with us. I like the name. I had to stop you right there. The Princess Sherry. What's up, the Princess Sherry? Great to see you.
So looking at the past couple years of 2020 and 2021, here's what happened. Rates went down, values went up. Why? Because when the rates went down, it brought a lot of interest to the table. A lot of people are like, hey, 3% rates, 2% rates, I want to buy a house. I'm very interested. I saw my cousin do it. I'm watching my sister do it. My best friend just got into a house. I want a piece of this. So what happens is when interest rates go down, values drop up. Now, when you're buying a house, if you bought a house right now, you will not have a sexy interest rate. You will not have a sexy interest rate.
What?
I don't care if you have an 800 FICO score or a 600 FICO score. You will not have a sexy interest rate. But what you can have is a house, okay? If you're okay with making the mortgage payment, if you're okay with making the rent payment, you should be okay with making a mortgage payment. But if you're okay with making a mortgage payment, get into the house. Now, what will happen? We don't know exactly when. But what will happen is the rates will start coming down. That interest will start kicking in. But not just the interest, because the interest is the new people who had that thought. It's the pent-up demand. Lee, what's pent-up demand?
Okay, so pent-up demand is when, like if this month interest rates went up and there's 30,000 people across America that say, hey, I think interest rates are a little too high. I'm going to wait. So they wait. Well, that's been happening for the last 18 months. So all these people are waiting. That's pent-up demand. Now, as soon as rates start going down, they're like, hey, I think it's the right time. There's a whole drove of people that are going to come in each time the interest rates come down. When that happens, market conditions are going to change. Consumer confidence is going to go through the roof, and then values are going to go up, and you'll pay more for that house when the interest rates go low. It's economics 101. It's too many buyers chasing too few goods goes up. That's the appreciation of the home prices.
So now
that's going on right now.
You have multiple camps now. You have pent-up demand. You have the 33 rule. You have the people that just are recently getting interest because they're watching everyone around them buy houses, which just increases their numbers.
What's the rule of 33?
Okay, here's the rule of 33, guys. When a person lives with their parents, the average age where they move out and start their own family and start buying houses is 33.
What?
Okay, so the age of
I got a 31-year-old boy.
It's pretty old.
I got a 31-year-old boy living in my house.
It's pretty old. Dude, you got...
Does he clean?
30 more years, brother. 30 more years and you'll be...
You got 30 years. I got a 33-year-old living in my house.
And that's only if you stop there.
He's going to get a boot in the ass is when he can get.
Oh, no doubt, dude. 18, go. Anyway, so 33 is the average number. So you got this big camp of 33-year-olds. You got this big camp of pent-up demand.
That's a grown-ass man. Sorry, I can't get over
this.
this.
Been a grown-ass man.
That's been a grown-ass man for at least 14 years.
At least. Well, I'd say 25 is when you really become a man.
Okay.
It should be 18, but 25 is when you really become a man.
That's a grown-ass man. He's got a shave. He stinks.
His girlfriends are coming over and
His girlfriend.
what the heck?
His girlfriend lives with him too.
His girl, your
What?
Your lady's feeding his girlfriend. What the
What
hell?
What is going on?
Anyway, so you got pent up demand. You got 33. You have the new people who are interested. So and these things are growing on the side
Right.
while no one's buying houses right now. Anyway, so interest rates start ticking down. The floodgates open, okay? The floodgates open, but only a chunk of it, okay? So once it goes from, let's say, 6.5 to 5.5, a big chunk of people come in. When it goes from 5.5 to 5.25, another big chunk comes
What's
in.
up, Isha
when
Bugs?
when it goes from 5.25 to 5 and 5 to 4.875 and down, and down, big chunks keep
You got
flooding
stuck
in.
there for a second.
Yeah.
You
So
got
here's
stuck
what
at
happens,
5 to
guys.
4.85.
Here's what happens. The values just don't go from where they're at today up 100% or 50% or 25%. They gradually go up, but it's not going to stop as the rates keep ticking down, okay? So, buy the house now if you're okay with the mortgage payment, and then you'll get to participate in that equity growth. That doesn't mean sell your house. It doesn't mean cash out refinance and buy that Benz and buy that boat and buy all that fun stuff. What that means is you get to access these funds somewhere down the road. For many Americans, their real estate is their retirement.
Yeah.
And if you have the
That's
ability,
big, by the way.
huge.
That's huge.
If you have the ability to make $250,000 of it in the next year or two,
Yeah.
why not participate in that? That's all that I'm saying.
Well, when people say, "Hey, I get this a lot. When I want to sell my house and get a new house for a new kid, for a young kid," I'm like, "Hey, I want you to entertain this. I want you to entertain keeping that house. Why? Because you're going to put a renter in it, and over 30 years, that mortgage will be paid off by the renter, and you'll have a new house. And then now you have two pieces of real estate, and your net worth doubled. It's not that straightforward. It's not that simple. But the more houses you can have, if you actually have a house that generates income, we have some people that are on this feed that have houses that generate income. That's like the super hack. Why? Because a mortgage is incidental inside of that, because that's actually an income generator for you. It's badass. It's the best way you can possibly use it. If you're able to use, hey, maybe you're setting up an Airbnb and you got an Airbnb making you money. That's great. Now you have the house that's producing income and appreciating in value, and you got the write-offs. Amazing. Maybe you're renting it out. Well, now the renter is paying your mortgage. You get the write-offs, and it's appreciating in value while you're paying down the mortgage. This is how people retire. I know, because we deal with people that are retiring all the time. They're like, "Hey, paid off the house like 10 years ago. Like, you know, it's worth $800,000. Yeah, I know. I'm like, that's a lot of money. That's good. Yeah, I guess so. You know, it wasn't when I bought it. When I bought it was 40 grand. Well, today's 40 grand is probably 400,000, and 30 years from now, 4 million will be a normal number, I believe.
Wait, hold
I
on.
believe. What?
Are you hinting to me that you're looking at retirement right now?
No, get the fuck out of here.
What I just heard is people have a bunch of houses with a bunch of equity that are looking at... Dude, you just talked about yourself. So, are you calling it quits?
No, I will never call it quits.
All right,
Like
dude.
never, never, never. Like never. I've seen the actuarial tables when people say, "Hey, I'm going to retire." You can put a clock to it. 8 years later, they're dead.
Dead.
Yeah, dead.
Why? Because their brain stops working,
They
guys.
don't have any challenges.
No
You know what?
challenges.
In our Isha Bugs, what's up? Hey, in our world, it's constant challenge. We deal with escrows that have constant challenges. Hello, just started the application on your site.
Tony Bows.
Tony Bows. We are here for you. We're going to reach out to you a little bit later. Do you have any questions right now, Tony? We can help you with the process. Where are you at? City and state.
Also, Tony, make sure you text us or call us after the live. I've already told everyone this.
Here's my private number. Don't tell anybody about it.
I've already told
Here's
everyone
his private
this.
number. Don't tell nobody about it.
Nah, that was not private.
All right, cool.
So when you call us and give us a heads up, we can get you to the top of the line, front of the line, whatever you call it, and get the process faster. So Tony, make sure you do ask us questions
Orlando,
and text
one of
us.
our favorite places is Florida right now, because one of our favorite governors is your boss. So DeSantis, and the reason is for the real estate world, across the country, there's a problem going on called squatter problem. Squatter is when somebody doesn't pay you for the house. They know it's vacant for a little while. They go in there and they move their shit in, and you can't move them out legally. It's very difficult to get them out. DeSantis signed a law that says, hey, you can now get them out. Whatever you need to do, get them out. Legally, of course. Legally, whatever legally means, you can get them out. So DeSantis helped the real estate market in Florida so much. What process are y'all talking about? Isha Bugs, we're trying to get you a house in 2024. The process is you fill out the loan application, send in your documents, we qualify you, you get a key to the new house. That's the full process. So, how can you find that application? You go to the link at the top of our bio, and it'll say Start Loan Application. In the meantime, Isha Bugs, if you've got questions on how to buy a house, how much do you need to earn, how much down payment do you need, what my credit score should be, can I use first-time homebuyer programs, is VA a good loan, is FHA a good loan, what's the difference between Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, what's a USDA loan, can you really do a USDA loan for zero down? Yes, you can. Can you really do a veteran loan, VA loan for zero down? Yes, you can. If you already have a house, let's get you another one. Isha, you can't have too many houses, right? We both agree you can't have too many houses.
Talk about too many houses, okay? Let's talk about too many houses.
Okay.
Now, there's a rapper out there named Vanilla Ice. You ever heard him?
I know Vanilla Ice.
Give me a line from one of his songs.
Ice, Ice Baby.
There you go. So this guy, he hit it big in 1990 with this one song. And that's about it.
One song. That's about it. But it was a really big
was a
song.
badass song
We
in
are
that
still
day.
playing it today. It
Tony
wasn't
Bowles,
it
are you
wasn't-
men going to call me or I call you? I said, here's what I said, Tony. Text us right now. That's why you put up the phone number.
Text Chris right now.
You can text Lee. He's
Either
a better,
one.
he's a
One
better
works. We'll
talker.
work for you, yeah.
He's better looking too. Look at him.
Yeah.
Show him. See? So, I was gonna say, text us right now so that we know to call you when we're done. What
Yeah.
happens when we're on these lives is we get all kinds of texts and phone calls, and that kind of takes priority.
Yeah.
So text us right now so you take priority so that we do reach out to you and we put to the top of the priority list. Okay.
And we are on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube here to help you get your questions answered about buying a house in 2024.
Isha Bugs, I'm trying to lower my payment, but I don't want to refinance because my interest rate is 2.75.
Isha Bugs, I got to tell you something that you're going to be really happy to hear and maybe not so happy at the same time. You've got an amazing, amazing rate.
Probably the best.
Amazing rate. Probably the best out there that we're going to see in 10 or 20 years. I would not refinance that rate. I know you would like a cheaper payment. We all would. I would like a cheaper payment. He would like a cheaper payment. But I got to tell you something. Even if you walked in with big bucks, like millions, you couldn't buy a 2.75 rate. You can't. So you've got like the best rate you can do. So I would not touch that 2.75 rate. There's very few reasons why I would touch that.
Now, Isha Bugs, you said refinance to lower your payment. Were you also thinking about accessing cash? Because if you're trying to access cash, it's not refinancing at all. Okay, so you're correct in that. You're not going to touch your 2.75. But if you want to access cash, there's other ways of doing that. Now, back to Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice. That's all we want to talk
Vanilla
about.
Ice, he had a banger in
And
1990. And then he went into construction. And he started doing fix and flips. Okay, so you've probably seen he had a reality show on somewhere on TV where he was doing fix and flips, and it was a little entertaining. But what he does now, what he does right now, and he had an interview not that long ago, is he buys property all over the United States. This guy probably owns a couple hundred doors. Okay, and what he does, this is very popular in doing this, is he'll get a property that is just garbage. Okay, but he knows it's worth something, and he'll buy it for pennies on the dollar. And not even rebuild it, not even improve it. He just lets it sit. Why? Because he knows that the values
You got money.
are going to keep
He's
going.
got money. You got to have
and
money
going,
to do that. Yeah.
And going, and going, and going. And
Yeah.
if he does need money, if he runs out of cash,
Thank you, Tony.
he sells one. He just sells one, makes a couple $100,000, like nothing. But he's buying properties all over the nation, and he's not even improving them. If it's a little junker on a lot in the middle of a neighborhood, there's going to be a junker on the lot in the middle of a neighborhood forever, because you know what he doesn't do? He doesn't get rid of his properties because he knows they increase in value. So just giving you guys an idea of what people are doing, even people that used to be famous, that are using a little bit of their money to try to grow their net worth.
Pop quiz. What's Vanilla Ice's real name?
Robert Van Winkle.
Damn, that was good.
I want to play this.
That was really good.
I want to play this.
Oh,
Should
you're
I
gonna play
this?
it. You're gonna play it. You
You
gotta
might
play
get
it.
in trouble.
We did a rap video that was just as good.
I want to play this.
All right, go ahead. A little bit.
I'm,
You can't go too long because
I
they'll
do
get
not
we'll get in
like
trouble.
these guys. I do
Yeah.
not.
VIP. Let's kick
Okay, that's about it. Because we'll get in
Aw,
trouble. They'll
man.
stop us. They'll ban us.
I don't care.
Yeah, we
This
get
is-
no. We do.
I
Yeah,
hate all
we're
these
trying to
guys.
help people.
Dislike.
Yeah, you can.
Big time.
Big time.
This one,
You
this
big
one,
man.
this
You
one,
big
and
man.
that one.
We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube trying to help you get a house in 2024. Interest rates have gone up just a little bit over the last few days. The reason is, well, CPI came in pretty damn hot. Like hot. Like hot. Like hot.
20 bells.
I know.
20 bells. I text Lee. I'm excited to
Yeah.
buy our first home.
We're gonna work on getting you that first home.
Heck yeah.
But CPI came in. The first we thought was coming at 2.9%. Came in at 3.1. We're like, yeah, whatever, no big deal. It's only 2 points off. Next month it comes in at 3.2. We're like, yeah, whatever, it's not that bad. Then comes in at 3.5. We're like, okay, this is turning into bullshit. Yeah, we got to do something about this stuff right here, right now. And Fed speaks when? May 1st. May 1st, which is about 2 weeks from now. About 2 weeks. Fed's going to come out. Jerome Powell, he's going to go, hey, I think we should fix the economy. How are we going to do? I don't know. You have to tune in May 1st. That's his ultimate.
You know, he
half
sounds
right
nothing
there.
like that.
He doesn't. But
Yeah,
you know
he
what?
doesn't sound
Where's
anything
this
like he
guy? This
looks.
guy's, hey, I think we should fix the economy.
Come
And then-
on, man.
Yeah, come on, man. They said, come on, man. And then this guy says, hey, I think we should fix the economy.
He sounded like the last guy.
They all sounded good. And then
Polly's
this guy,
funny.
and then this guy says,
This guy.
hey, I think we should fix the economy.
What's his name?
His name is Janet.
Why does he have a girl name?
Don't ask that question.
Isha Bugs.
We'll get-
Accessing cash sounds good. Tell me about it.
Yeah, let's get
I
some
can't
cash.
wait to
How much
access
cash?
some cash.
How much cash do you want?
Ooh.
How much cash?
So if you're gonna access some cash and you don't want to refinance, if you bought a house, I would say before 2023. If you bought a house after 2023, let's put it that way. If you bought a house after 2023, after December 2022,
The Gang of Four. It's really not
That's
the
his
gang,
gang.
of Four. It's not really the Gang of
it's
Four.
not my gang.
But
It's his game. So if you bought a house, let me change it again. If you bought a house before June 2022, you probably don't want to refinance. Okay, you probably don't want to refinance. If you bought a house after June 2022 and you want to access cash, you refinance would probably be okay. But another way of accessing the money is through a home equity line of credit, which is called HELOC. You're probably getting a ton of commercials, ads, text messages, mailers on HELOCs, okay? That's a way to access funds. Or you can get a second loan. They're both seconds, but the HELOC works a little different. So just want to kind of put that out there because Isha Bug said accessing money sounds good. You purchased 2020, you probably got a badass rate.
You got a badass rate. Yeah,
2.75.
2.75.
Yeah.
2.75 is not heard of. I mean, everybody wants 2.75.
Never.
It's just insane. So congratulations to you. Big ups. That's pretty badass. 2.75. I'm quoting right now 8.
Ocho.
It's crazy.
Oh,
It is
cho.
It is crazy. It is crazy.
That's French.
Ocho.
You didn't know I knew French, huh?
Ocho, yeah.
Mhm.
I knew croissant.
Yep. I like those too.
Croissant fresh.
French toast.
Oof. Oof means egg. Oof.
French fries means
Oof. French
fried
fries.
potatoes.
You know what they call them in France? Fries.
Ooh. What do they call American cheese in France?
Poison?
True dat. True dat. Dude, our food is no buenos, guys.
So
no buenos.
when you go down the rabbit hole, I'd say when, because everybody sooner or later goes down the rabbit hole of what am I taking? What am I eating? What am I eating? It's not good. The economy, it's a scam. The economy's a scam. It's a scam. I hate it. It's the truth. It's a scam. Sugar, white flour, the devil. The devil.
Wow.
They're straight come from Hades. The devil. Loan interest rates, the devil. But here's the problem with it, and it's a really
Might
big
have
problem.
to
We
dance
can't do
with 'em.
anything. We can't do anything about it because the only way you can not get a loan is if you're independently wealthy. Like there's these guys running around going, "Hey, I'm a sovereign citizen. I'm not a person." I'm like, what world are you living
I
in?
don't have to follow the rules.
Yeah, I don't have to. The banking system, we get people on our live sometime who are like, hey, did you know the bank is scamming you? All you have to do is stop paying. I'm like, yeah, I don't know if you've watched, but that doesn't go well. And for those sovereign citizens who sit there in front of a judge and go, I'm a sovereign citizen, I don't recognize your authority. It's hilarious. Yeah, it's like
They
cool.
lift.
Yeah, you can not recognize that jail cell that you're in
Oh,
for a
shit.
while. It's
I
hilarious.
don't identify as a prisoner.
Yeah, I don't recognize an 8% rate. I only identify with the 2.75% rate. I want to try that.
Tony bows. For what I pay in rent, I'd rather have something that's going to be mine. That's
I
what I
agree
just
with you.
said,
Yeah,
Tony.
Yeah, we got to get
You
something.
can pay
Tony.
rent. You can pay a mortgage.
Tony, we're going to get you something. We're going to work on it.
Heck yeah.
Either you're going to be qualified really quick today or tomorrow, or we're going to put together a strategy, an action plan. We're going to say, hey, Tony, we got to work on this. We got to work on this. Maybe we pay this off and this. And then we're going to get you that house.
Either way, you'll be on the right path.
Either way, on the right path. That's all there is to
Hey,
it.
guys, let me share that. Guys.
Okay, go. Share it.
A lot of people are scared to get pre-qualified because they know they have crap credit. A lot of people are concerned with getting pre-qualified because they don't believe they make enough money. A lot of people are concerned with getting a house because they don't have a down payment. Okay, those are the only 3 things you really need to buy a house.
3 things.
And because of those things, it stops them in their tracks. Okay, how do I know this? Because at every get-together that my family has, I always tell everyone that I know for a fact, you make too much money. You need to buy a house.
Yeah.
And I've done that for years, and it always takes about 3 to 4 years until that takes. And they're like, hey, Chris, we're interested in buying a house. I'm like, no shit. I already knew this.
Rodrigo just cracked a joke. It's hilarious. Can you get me requalified?
not joking.
Not pre-qualified.
She's not joking.
She said LOL, so that means joke.
No, she's buying other houses.
I know she's buying that.
That is a girl on the right path.
I
No
tell
doubt.
you what, yeah, no doubt. No
No
doubt.
doubt.
Respect, much respect. Much
Yep.
respect.
100%.
Yeah, cool.
So when I tell my family members, hey, you need to get a house, you need to grow it, somewhere down the road it makes sense and then they get pre-qualified. But guess what always happens? Guess what always happens, Lee?
They don't want you to know their finances, and because of that, they use a different loan officer.
No.
But that happens.
They
It does
have
happen.
crap credit.
Yeah, they have crap credit too, but
They have a problem with down payment. They have a problem with income. But if they would have got with me 4 years ago, they would already be homeowners because we put them down the right path.
yeah.
Tony Bells, but I believe in you, man.
I appreciate you
This is for
very
you,
much.
Tony
We're going to
Bells.
work really hard to make sure, if at all possible, we get you a house. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you this, Tony. I'm going to tell you this, and it's going to be ugly to hear, but it's going to be the truth. You're not going to get the best interest rate you'll ever get. You're not going to get it. It's ugly, but it's the reality.
Yet.
If you go the last 22 years, the lowest it's ever been, the lowest, about 2.5%. That's the lowest it's ever been, about 2.5%. If you go to the highest it's ever been, highest, probably about 8.25%. So you have a 22-year gauge, 2.5 and then 8.25. Right now, we're pricing them in the 7s, high 7s even. We're not at the top, but we're kind of at the top. But here's the good news, Tony. Here's the good news. When you buy that house, you don't have to wonder, am I going to refinance? We are going to strategically plan the refinance. And it's not going to happen right away. I'm going to tell you that right now, Tony. There's some tough conversations. You're going to get a better price on the house because there's not a lot of buyers out there. Because there's not a lot of buyers, it means there's a buyer's market. When a buyer comes in and says, hey, I'm going to offer you this much, the seller has to take them serious because it's a buyer's market. But you're not going to get the best rate. You're just not going to. It's not going to happen. But we are going to plan a strategic refinance in the future because according to the Federal Reserve, this is how the rates are going to go in 24, 25, 26, and down to 27. This is the end of 26, beginning of 27. Right now, the Federal Reserve says we should be at 5.25 and 5.5. That's the Fed funds rate. So that's where it's at right now, 5.25, 5.5. Now, over the next year or two, they're all over the board. This is all 12 members. This is them reporting where they think it should be, but they come to a consensus right around 2.5 in about 2 years, which means you're going to get in at a higher rate, but we're going to plan a strategic refinance within the next 2 to 3 years so that you can get the best rate possible. Also, New American Funding knows this is a problem, so they're addressing it. They're addressing it by saying, hey, listen, if you refinance within the next 5 years, they won't charge you.
Tony's on the right path.
Yep.
She said, I don't want to renew my lease another year. It's up in December. Here's why I say you're on the right path. is because the number one reason why people don't qualify is because they have bad credit. Okay? If you had bad credit, I'm not saying you do, Tony. I don't even know what your file looks like. I'm sure it's wonderful. But if you did, that's enough time to repair that credit, qualify you so that you're able to go shopping, get into escrow, and close. So even if you have bad credit right now, you have an opportunity to possibly get in a home by Christmas still. Literally by Christmas. Merry Christmas. Here's your new house.
And this guy's going to talk on May 1st. May 1st. May 1st. May 1st. May 1st. Chairman of the Federal Reserve. Who's the Federal Reserve? These guys right here. These are the ones who set the FOMC Fed Fund policy that kind of largely dictates the way the U.S. economy is going to go. The U.S. economy affects the rest of the world. Like, it's a big deal. So this guy's arguably the most powerful financial man in the world. Arguably. You'd think this guy is the boss of him, but he's not. This guy is appointed by Congress. He's appointed by Congress, approved by the president. Appointed by Congress, approved by the president, or the other way around. Yeah, might be the other way around.
Doing hallucinogenics
Dude,
again?
I'm getting crazy on this. Anyway, but here's the thing with him. His tenure ends 2 years into the president's term. So he can't get fired. It's designed that way. So that when a new president comes in, like let's just say we have a new president in a year, we have hint, hint, go vote, Orange Man. Anyway, ooh, boom, we got hats and mustaches.
Yeehaw!
Ooh, Rajvinder sent us something that made us real happy. Rajvinder, thank you very much. We appreciate you. We appreciate you
She
so
looks
much.
much different in that picture than she does in real life.
So
She don't look like that.
yeah. Anyway, he can't get fired by the new president, and then so he manages Fed Fund policy. It's a little bit different than politics. We think, but we'll see.
Isha Bugs, what side hustles do you have? Okay.
You talk about it.
First thing I want you to do is follow these feeds. Actually, follow this one.
Yeah, follow that one.
Follow this feed, okay? This feed, I'm going to give you 5 seconds to screenshot it. Count it down, Lee.
4, 3, 2, 4, 3,
I'm tired,
2, 1.
man.
Okay, got it.
So that's going to be only on TikTok, okay? Anyway, so follow that feed. It'll give you all the stuff that we've been talking about. Anyway, what is our side hustle? What side hustle do y'all do? Okay, here's what it is. It's online digital marketing, okay? I'll give you an example. Let's say that you're watching this show right here, right now, and you're like, hey, Chris, I like that hat. Or, hey, Lee, I like that t-shirt. And let's pretend that these are our sponsors or this is the product that we sell, okay? Pretend. We don't sell these products. Pretend. Where can I get that hat, Chris? Where can I get that shirt, Lee? I would say, hey, I'm going to text you the link so you can buy it. And let's say that link goes to Amazon, okay? Well, you're going to buy that product for however much you want. What's attached to it is string code. What's attached to it is Chris.
More hats. Rajvinder sent us more hats.
Dude,
Thank
I
you
love
very
it.
much.
Yes, I love
We
it.
got cowboy hats.
So what's attached to it is Chris and Lee. So you're going to buy that product from Amazon for $20. Amazon takes 5. The hat place takes 10. Chris and Lee take 5. Okay, we made $5 by selling you that hat. Or you can go to the store and buy it for the same price.
Yep.
The difference is it's connected to you and you make a commission on it. Okay, that's online digital marketing. We are able to show you it on an online platform.
Mm-hmm.
You're able to access it on an online platform, buy it online, and then it shows up at your doorstep. Okay,
Yep.
That's what we do. Now, how do you do it is the question. That's the $1 million question, actually. Okay, what we use is something called the Roadmap to Riches. Okay, the Roadmap to Riches is basically a course teaching you how to do this online digital marketing.
Step-by-step course, not a small course.
Literally,
Yeah.
step by step. Pretend that you're a baby and now you're an adult. Everything that you learned is kind of like the Roadmap to Riches. So it teaches you where to go, how to do it, what to get involved in, what websites, everything, what to post on social media, everything you need to know, from marketing to sales to client acquisition, everything, okay? So if you know nothing about online digital marketing, then yes, that's how you're able to do it, is through the Roadmap to Riches. If you know everything about online digital marketing, I would forget everything that you know and just follow the Roadmap to Riches.
Yeah.
Because it's a super successful platform that people are using to get rich. We're not getting rich off this. our primary is doing home loans, but
We have made money. We have made money. We make money.
Yes.
Sometimes we just get a commission check out of nowhere. It's just like, hey, here's an extra $500. Here's an extra $1,000. Here's an extra. Wow, it's pretty cool to have that. But our primary, the way we make a living is doing home loans. And the question is, do you need a certain amount of followers? The more followers you have, the more impact you have. But you don't. You don't. To go live on TikTok, you need 1,000. I don't think you need that on Instagram. I don't think you need it on Facebook, and I don't think you need it on YouTube. But the more followers you have, the more people you can impact, and the more you can actually help people. So it's a pretty powerful program, and we do it. He's like sold.
So here's what it is, guys. When you do this, you're gonna get, like I said, the roadmap from A to Z. There's not going to be any confusion. Don't try to interfere with what you already know, because that will slow you down. Okay? Tell me how I know. Tell him, Lee.
Yeah, we
Because
know
he knew too much.
Yeah.
He knew too much.
Well, I know how to build websites, and we own a server, and we own our websites, and I got myself too techie, involved in way too much stuff.
Forget about it.
And then I just said, hey, let's just push this aside and do it their way. Once I did it their way, we started making money.
Now, here's what's super cool, guys. Let's say you don't have a product to sell, like a hat or a t-shirt. Let's say you don't have any products. You know what you can sell? The roadmap to riches.
What?
Over and over and over again.
What?
So you can either be a person that's pushing out products, or you can be the person that's sharing the roadmap to riches and sharing it with those that are buying it. You're earning a commission, and you're helping them get their business started. So if you have a product, awesome. If you don't have a product, you can make money doing that too. So I hope that answers your question, Tony Bows.
We're here for you guys. Hey, by the way, interest rates right now are at 6% on a 15-year fixed, 5.75 on a 30-year fixed FHA, and 5.75 on a VA 30-year fixed. And that was actually, that's not correct. I just got hit. I just got hit on the hand.
No.
15-year fixed, it's gone up to 6.25 on an FHA 30-year fixed, 6.25 on a VA 30-year fixed. So that's a perfect scenario, by the way. That's not the normal rate quote we give. If you're just a regular person without an 800 FICO and you're not putting 40% down, you're probably going to be in the sevens. That's just the honest truth of it. You're probably in the sevens. And is it a great time to get an interest rate? It's not. It's horrible. But is it a great time to get a house? Yes. So you have to weigh those two things out, because home prices, they went up a little bit, but it went down a little bit and then up a little bit. How experienced you guys with VA loans? So Victoria, I'm going to toot my own horn a little bit here and say we're probably the best in the nation. The best. I've been doing VA loans since like forever. I got my first license in 1992, but NMLS wasn't required until 2012. I did get my NMLS in 2012. I am a veteran. My dad is a Purple Heart Vietnam veteran. My son is active duty special forces. So I know a lot about the VA loan. I can share with you the hiccups. I've actually gotten caught a few times thinking I know, and then I found out I didn't. The hard way.
I was wrong yesterday.
Way, on what?
On funding fee with service connection percentage. I was wrong yesterday.
So what question do you have, Victoria? We want to help you. Yes, we can. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. You're welcome for this. And we are very good at the VA loan. I'll show you one that I got caught on, and it caught me so weird. I had this veteran that came to me with 100% service connected. 100% service connected. And I just went and qualified him normal. Except his 100% service connected was conditional. And I said, all right, and it just said a little tiny thing. It said CND at the end of it. And I was like, 100% CND. And I was like, okay, cool. And we got into escrow, and I said, what is this? And the underwriter said, this isn't guaranteed income. This is conditional. As long as he's not earning income, he gets this income. But the second he starts earning income, he doesn't get this income anymore. And because of that, the underwriter denied the file. And I went, oh my God, how could I not know this? How could I not know this? So I went to the VA, literally went to the VA. And I said, what is this? And they said, well, this guy might qualify, but he has to go through the paperwork. And I said, hey, Mr. Veteran, I'm going to walk you through step by step, and we're going to get you unconditional 100%. And it took us about 9 months. And then when we were done, I got the 100% without the C&D on it, and he's in a home today. But I'll tell you what, that one thing caught me, and I now know to look for it, and there's only one spot you would find it, and it's on the COE. Holy smokes, that's a big deal. So, Victoria, we're here to help you.
I'm going to give you guys some truth right now, okay? That's how a loan officer learns. Literally, that's how a loan officer learns.
It hurt.
So, to be honest, we've made mistakes, okay? We've made mistakes. We fixed them, but we've made mistakes, and we don't make them twice, okay? It's a big deal. And that's the reason, I hate to say it, that's the reason you probably don't want to work with a new loan officer, okay? That's the reason why you probably don't want to work with a loan officer who's done at least 50 loans in their life.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of loans too, guys. It's not a lot of loans.
It's not a lot of loans.
But it does get you the ability to get through the problems and figure out what you shouldn't be doing and what you should know. Now, the VA is a different animal, okay? It's a different animal because it's such a small percentage of the population. But the benefit is that we actually marketed really hard for VAs. So we've gotten a ton of them.
Yeah.
And that's why Lisa's are probably best in the nation because we put our hands on so many different
For
files.
a while, we were doing like 60% VA loans. 60%. We have a lot of loan volume. So we were just like banging out, and I've learned all of the little hiccups on the VA loans. So I want to help veterans. I'll teach you. I even teach other people how to manage the other loan officers.
Victoria,
how
you're
to
the
manage.
vet.
Yep.
Thank you for your service.
We appreciate you, Victoria, and Tony Bowles. We appreciate your son for his service.
Oh, yes. Air Force. That's right.
Okay, thank you. My family and I want to get a house as soon as possible. Victoria, I'm going to give you some. If you're the vet, I'm going to give you some real powerful things. First off, VA loan, 0 down. You probably already know that. 0 down, 0 down. Very big deal, 0 down. And no mortgage insurance. What does no mortgage insurance mean? It means that your buying power just went up. It's a little bit hidden behind the scenes, but without mortgage insurance, you have more buying power. So if you made X and you had to pay mortgage insurance, your buying power would be this. But if you're VA, no mortgage insurance, your buying power is higher. So that's the next thing. Second, there is no FICO requirement. None in the VA guidelines. None. Some banks have overlays. We go straight off VA guidelines. Some people sell it as a win. Hey, my bank has no, any big bank has, they go direct. It's called VA Direct. So any big bank goes VA Direct. So it's not a special thing. Any large bank knows that. So this is a very powerful loan. Now, if you're service connected, that changes the game entirely. Changes the game because there's only one real downside. Finally, the count goes up. There's only one real downside to a VA loan, and that is what's called the VA funding fee. And the VA funding fee can be as much as 3.3%. How much is that? On a $500,000 house, it's $18,000. It's a lot of money, $18,000. Now it gets built into the loan, but it's very expensive. So if you're service connected at 10% or greater and you have a skilled loan officer, they pull your COE and they ensure it's exempt. And this is where an unskilled loan officer mess up. If he doesn't know these two things correlate with each other, he could pull your COE, it'll say non-exempt, he doesn't give a shit, puts it in, starts moving forward. But if you had a good conversation with the veteran and you find out that they just got service connected at 10%, you take that service connection paperwork, you file with the VA, and you get a new COE with a exempt designation on it. And if you get the exempt designation on it, Navy Mom Donna, what's up? I got told I did not acknowledge her last time, even though we waved.
You got scolded.
I got scolded. We do acknowledge you. So if you're service connected at 10% or greater, we can waive the VA funding fee. And like I told you, on a $500,000 house with a 3.3% VA funding fee, that'll save you $18,000 like that. Like that. And there is no FICO score. There is no FICO score requirement on a VA loan. Another thing, AJ says you can qualify for a VA home loan for the amount if there's still no down payment. Can you qualify for more than the VA home loan maximum? Okay, so AJ, just ask a good question. Very good question. Can you qualify for more than the VA home loan max amount? If you've never used your VA and your VA is unscathed, there is no max amount. There is no max amount. There is no loan limit on a VA. You could do a $2 million house, 2-day, 0 down. Now, if it is scathed, what does scathed means? That means that you've used it and you maybe got charged something against it, or it's not perfectly clean, then we trigger county loan limits. At that point, we have to change that. So, hope that answered your question. Ed Weezy, I'll submit all my docs today. How long will it take to get a pre-approval back? If you submit everything today, I've already committed to 1 or 2 people on this to get back to them, so go to Chris on this one. But if you submit all of your documents today, we'll get you a pre-qual. What do you want to give him?
Monday.
You want to see today?
If you can.
I might be able to work it in today. Well, today, if you're ready to go into escrow today, I'll make it today. If you're ready to go into escrow today, I'll make it today. If not, it's probably going to be Monday, but we can do this. So, Fikadu, F-I-K-A-D-U, follow those. Appreciate you. Mammy Zero putting 20% down, closing date, 5/17/24, 6.125 interest rate. 517. That's pretty good. Yeah, 6.125 interest rate. That's pretty.
That's a good rate.
That's a good rate. In today's market, that's a damn good rate.
20% down conventional. If that's conventional, you're doing real good.
Yeah, that's if you're doing, yeah.
Love to work with you guys. We are located in California. Oh yeah, what city?
Yeah, we are located in California right now. Also, we're in Riverside, California at the moment. That's where our office is. Also, I live in Texas, so we do a lot of loans in Texas, a lot of loans in California. We do loans all across the country.
Mammy, you're doing
good. That's good. You're doing really good.
Yeah,
You're
no
really
MI
good.
either?
Sacramento, California. Love
Right.
Sacramento. Love Sacramento.
What do you love about it?
It's where the politicians make the laws for the state of California.
It's about an hour from San Francisco.
No, I love the loan amounts. I love the loan amounts, to be honest.
Sacramento's expensive.
The loan amounts, if I do a loan in Sacramento, it's a good commission. That's what I really love about Sacramento.
It's expensive.
Because can you get a $900,000 house in Sacramento? Maybe, but you're on the poor side. That's the reality of Sacramento. It's tough in Sacramento. But everybody makes a fortune. Like a fortune. They can afford those houses. It's crazy.
Are you a
It's
politician,
absolutely
Victoria?
crazy.
Are you one of our local politicians?
Are you a politician? Are
you
you
working with
Gavin Newsom?
Oh, are you Gavin?
Are you Gavin Newsom and you're just...
Are you trolling us?
Are you trolling us to
Gavin,
make sure?
again?
Yeah. Mammy Zero, appreciate you very much. Our stated income loans still around. Greg, 50 cars.
Yeah,
I like
50
that.
cars, Greg.
50 cars.
You got a GT3?
Stated. So they call stated a little bit different nowadays because back in the day you would just say, you would state, this is my income. Honest, bro. Trust me. That's how that was a stated loan, no doc loan. Right now they have bank statement loans. So the bank states your loan. The bank states, hey, you brought in 20 grand a month every month for the last 24 months. And in that case, I don't have to look at your W-2s, your 1040s. I don't have to look at anything. That statement alone allows me to do a bank statement loan. So yes, it still exists, but it's not as loose as it was in the 2004, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then the crash, and then they all went away.
So
Went away.
Not to mention, Stated was doing 80-20 loans. So you had 80% loan and then a 20% loan, which was 100% financing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The ones today will make you put 20% down.
20% down.
No
Almost-
80-20s, guys.
Yeah, almost all of them. There is no, the whole ninja loan thing, it went away and it was horrible. It's what really caused the financial crisis. And the financial crisis wasn't just U.S., it affected the globe. And that's because greed everywhere. Greed everywhere.
Good plan, Victoria.
Yeah.
We currently own a home. We want to make it into a rental. We would need to have reserves to qualify for another home, ? Good strategy. Legal.
So yes, you do need reserves. Well, maybe not.
The question is your current house a VA?
Oh, that's the first question. The first question is, are you currently on a VA loan? If you are, it's going to change things a little bit because VA will...
No. Good.
Oh, good. Perfect. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Then if you have a clean entitlement and it's not being used, all you got to do is rent that bad boy out, and then we go straight into the VA loan. You probably won't get landlord experience unless you've got 2 years or more, which means if your mortgage is $3,000 a month and you rent it out for $4,000, I can't give you the extra. I can only wash out the mortgage, but that doesn't matter because once it washes out, that VA loan is going to give you real big buying power. Like no loan limit. It's crazy. I did a $1.5 million VA loan, no loan limit. I was in like going, this is crazy. $1.5 million, zero down. What on earth? It was, big insurance guy. And yes, he bought the house. Badass.
I wish more vets knew that.
Yeah, no loan limit. They were bringing it up with county loan limits every year. And the VA just finally said, nah, it will income qualify them. Screw the loan limit. It doesn't exist anymore. So they're gone. All loan limits are gone.
Dakota Bradshaw. Hey, boys, I have it conditionally approved. Once I solve the conditions, do I have approval 100%?
No.
You have what you call a clear to close, okay? You have what you call a clear to close, okay? So a clear to close means you're allowed to move forward to the steps of funding, but funding has their own conditions. So no, he's correct. You're not 100%, but I can bet with a very high degree of certainty that you are done and you will be getting that.
Didn't mean to make your heart stop. If you have conditional loan approval and you've satisfied the conditions, you're probably going to get loan approval. However, if you lose your job, right, loan anymore, they will take it away from you. If they find out that you were married, and I've had that like at the closing table, hey, did you know this person's married? I'm like, no. They're like, I call them up and, hey, Mr. Client, are you married? Well, I haven't talked to her in 10 years. Yeah, but are you married? Oh, we're not talking anymore. But are you married? Well, we never legally got divorced. Hey, guess what? You're married. And then we have to put some more documents. I saved the loan, but that happens sometimes.
Yeah,
anyway.
Victoria, nice. How many times can you use your VA?
Is your name Pfizer?
No, don't say that.
Stop. Oh, shit. You're right. I can't say that. I can't say that word.
That already because you said
I did it. No. You made my heart stop. Yeah. That's hilarious.
But
Thank you.
Thank you for saying that, Bilbo Ball Baggins, because that's fact.
Yeah. Nice. How many times can you use your VA loan? Victor. Here's the answer. As many times as you want to, as long as you got your entitlement freed up. If you've got your entitlement freed up and you've never been charged against it, then you can just use it over and over and over again. You're going to hear some people say you can only use it twice. I've literally done it so many times, it's insane. So you can use it many times.
You're welcome, Dakota. AJ has a good question. I want you to give him some specifics that he
Cool.
can ask questions. How do you verify if a lender is actually an expert in VA loans?
AJ, very good question.
What questions should he be asking?
Yeah, okay, so the question that you should ask. First off, the most important thing is this lender must have done a lot of loans, a lot of VA loans.
Yeah, ask him that.
It's really hard to know the right question to ask a lender, to ask a loan officer. So the real simple question is, how long have you been doing this full time? That's a big one. And if they say less than 2 years, then you go, okay, now, how long has your manager been doing it full time, and can I CC your manager on all communication? Why? Because being a new loan officer is not bad. Everybody has to do it. If you have a good manager who's watching them every step of the way and you have access to the manager, then you have somebody that's got times at bat. And it's the same thing, like let's just say you got a brand new kid who came out of surgery school and he's a surgeon and he was top of his class, like top of his class, but has never actually cut open a patient. Because he was top of his class, do you want him cutting you or your son or daughter open? Probably not. You want the guy who's been there, said, holy shit, gotta save somebody's life now. Not someone who's going, this isn't like it was in school. You need somebody who's actually done a lot of VA loans. And there's some very simple things you can ask. Like, for instance, if somebody's going, hey, if you got a 580, I can do a 580 FICO. You're dealing with somebody who's just feeding what the bank tells him because there is no technical guideline for a VA loan. There's no technical FICO guideline. A FICO is a residual-driven loan. It's driven by the residual, which is a back-end calculation done in a specific VA loan. So you want to ask those questions and those certain things. And don't be afraid to challenge them. Ask them. And if you want, throw all the questions to us and we'll throw them back to you. We got to do that. We should probably keep it because our account went up for a little bit, right?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
They're making sure that we're actually real people here. Go ahead.
Let go?
Yeah,
Oh.
let go. Yeah. If The apps check to see if you're a real person and you're not just running a video in the background. They make you do a puzzle piece every once in a while.
AJ,
Cool.
AJ, I'm gonna give you a couple of pieces. Okay, I'll give you a couple more pieces. So here's the questions you're gonna ask them, and the kind of trick questions, kind of playing games here, but here's the truth. You ask them, "What is your funding fee?" Ask them, "What is your funding fee for VA?"
Yeah.
And if they say it's not my funding fee, they know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
If they give you the actual percentage,
Yeah.
they know what they're talking about. Second question, okay? Whether this applies to you or not, okay? You're gonna say, if I'm service connected, at what percentage does the funding fee go away? If I'm service connected, at what percentage does the funding fee go away?
If they say I have to check, they don't know what they're talking about. If they say I have to check that. If they say I have to check, they don't know what they're talking about. Yeah, that's your first red flag. Your first red flag.
And then ask them, this will be the last question. These are three questions that a VA loan officer will know. VA expert would know, I should say. Okay, here's the third one. I have a family of 2.
Tony, yes, start uploading.
I have a family of 2. What's the residual need to be at?
Good question.
I have a family of 2.
Very good question.
What does the residual need to be at? Or you can say, if you don't have a family of 2,
And-
just say, if I had a family of 2,
Yeah.
where does the residual need to be at?
And if they say, I have to go check the guidelines, they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're talking about. If you say, hey, I can't quote it exactly, but give me a ballpark. Just give me a ballpark. Because what does a family of 1 need?
883.
Like that. On what region?
West.
How many regions are there?
4.
What are they?
West.
North, south, and east. North, south, east, and west.
Yeah.
There's north,
I'm in
south,
the
east, and west.
west.
Yeah. So the regions are different, and the regions are different. So
Yeah, it's that stuff. So hopefully that gets you a good loan officer. If you don't have one, we're great. Just call us.
just call us. We'll help
Time
you.
for a commercial.
If you need a badass loan, call Badass Loan Officer. You can reach your badass loan officer by calling Chris and Lee at the numbers on the screen. Chris and Lee are your badass loan officers at New American Funding, and they will help you get your home in 2024. What are the questions you guys have for us? Light it up. We're going a little bit longer today because we started a little bit later today. So we are here for you guys answering the questions. If you want to know what the interest rates are, I can tell you that they are 6%. 6% on a 15-year fixed conventional. Don't believe me? Go to the top links, go to cool stuff, go to today's rates, and New American Funding is putting out 6%. 6%. That is not my quote to you. The only way for me to give you a quote is to pull your credit, calculate your income, calculate your assets, build your file, and then I will give you a quote. Until then, we just go with what New American Funding says. And by the way, there's a little hack here. Is that a perfectly easy rate to get? No. How do you know that? Look at the APR. If you look at the rate, you're going to see 6%. And right below that, you're going to see 6.5 APR. Why are those different? Because there's a cost to get that 6% loan. And that's how you decipher it, like that.
Yeah, user 7404. How can a VA client know these questions? We just gave them to you.
Yeah,
We just gave them
they
to you.
usually can't. A lot of loan officers count on your ignorance. They legitimately count on your ignorance. And it's horrible, but it's reality. In order to be a loan officer, you have to pass the NMLS test. You got to go through an FBI background check. But in order to survive, you got to get clients. And the way we do it is we put the numbers out, we put the questions out, we bring like live. I can answer questions live. We do this every day, Monday through Friday from 11:30 to 12:30 because we know the guidelines because we close loans. The average person will not know to ask these questions. And because of that, you're kind of at the mercy of whoever you answer to add to or whoever you got referred to or whatever. So there are ways to find us, and social media is amazing. Somebody asked me one time, how can I vet my loan officer? How can I make sure? Well, here's the first thing. If he's actually putting his advice out on social, subject to everybody shooting at him, because we got people shooting at us all day long. We got people shooting at us all day long. We know our guidelines. We know them. We are occasionally wrong, but so far we haven't had to retract a video. We're occasionally wrong, but we usually catch it between the two of us.
Mine was for family of 2, by the way.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah, you're right. It's 418 for a family of 1, 814 for a family of 2. Anyway, how do you best leverage a VA home loan cert? Okay, so first off,
What purpose?
if you're trying to get your VA loan, you're going to get what's called a certificate of eligibility. Certificate of eligibility. And on that certificate of eligibility, it's either going to say exempt or not exempt, and it's going to say $36,000. Don't worry about the $36,000. It's a number. I can give you a reason for it, but the $36,000 only triggers if you've ever had something gone wrong with your VA in the past. Short of that, there is no VA loan limit. If there is a VA loan limit, if there is a problem with your VA loan in the past, that $36,000 will become very important. But at the moment, it's not. And then the best thing you can do on a VA loan is you can buy a 4-unit. Yep, 4-unit. You do have to live in the primary unit. You have to live in the primary unit. Have to live in the big unit, the primary unit. But I can use the other 3 rental income in order to help qualify you for that 4-unit. And your purchase price, your purchase power just went through the roof because I'm able to not only get you a primary residence, but also get you 3 rentals at the exact same time. That's powerful.
All right, there's a question up here. What are your business hours? Hoping to start the process with you guys as soon as possible.
We're in California. I know you're in California too. We work from like 8:30 till 5 or 6. But the truth is, we're loan officers. We're in sales. You call me on Saturday, I'll answer your call on Saturday. If you're like legitimately going into escrow, I will open up my computer and do a pre-qual on the spot. But if you just want to find out what you're qualified for on Saturday, I'm probably gonna wait till Monday. We're at that level. I don't know if that sounds good or bad, but you can call us anytime. We will work with you. And I don't know if you're a realtor, if you're a home buyer, but if you're a realtor, we have a lot of powerful tools to help realtors. And we answer our phone. That's probably the most important thing.
Here's what's really cool, guys, is that when you deal with a big bank, what's going to happen is you're going to get the bank telephone number, and the banks are closed on Saturday afternoons and all days on Sundays, and it's hard to get a hold of them, and you can leave them a message. They're going to go through the round robin. These are cell phone numbers.
Can you talk about rate buy down? One real quick last one. Are we getting to the rapid fire here?
Yeah, hold on.
Rapid.
So what that means is you can text us. So if we can't talk, we can text. So there's a little hint.
Okay, so E. Fuller, I'm gonna do this one real quick. Rate buy down. Let's just say that we priced you and your rate came in at 7.5% today. You have the ability to buy it down, probably all the way down to about 5.5 right now. So you could probably buy it down for 200 basis points. But that's not going to be cheap. It's probably going to cost you between $10,000 and $25,000, somewhere in that range. Is it a good idea in this environment? I'll say probably not. Why not? It'll mean I have a cheaper interest rate. Correct. But even if you bought down to 5.5%, according to the Federal Reserve, we're going from 5.5 all the way down to 2.5 in the next 2 years. So the question is not whether you're going to refinance, it's when you're going to refinance. So you're going to refinance. So you take that $20,000 that you would have spent to buy down the rate and you just put it in a side bank account. And when it's time to refinance, when you get closer to the lower end of the rates right down here, you pull that 20 grand out and then you buy it down. You buy it down into the dirt. You buy it down into 2.5, 3%, and then you hold on to that rate forever. So is buying down a rate good? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. For qualifying, you might have to. But if you're trying to do it from a strategic perspective, you don't buy down the rate right now. You don't buy it down right now. Why? Because it's not a matter of whether you refinance. You are going to refinance. And when you refinance at the lowest spot, then you spend your money, buy down the rate. That's the best for you. In the meantime, we've been Chris and Lee. We appreciate you. We're out.